Yeah.
Oh my God, this kid's in this thing? Age looks cool though.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's getting really fat.
Did you just try to French him? What happened there?
I-
Are you doing MTV Unplugged after this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of old grunge hits, but just with a guitar.
I was gonna say I went to one of those, but of course I did not. But I will say I saw a clip on Instagram, and they were showing Nirvana at the MTV Music Awards, and Chris, the bass player, throws his guitar up. I remember it came down and hit him.
I watched that happen live. I remember that. It hit him hard, and he stumbles off stage, and there's that moment of like, was that? I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think he got legitimately injured.
And Kurt did not see it and kept singing. And then they went to commercial, and Dana was the host, Carvey, and I was writing for him. So we were watching them, and then we go, oh shit. So I said, go up and say the Nirvana ride is now closed. And then kind of funny. But he said that, and then we saw Chris after, and of course, I didn't care about him. I was too busy fawning all over Kurt. But
my first Video Music Awards, I was as I worked at MTV from '94 to '98, and in '95 I got to do like commentary, like roving reporter stuff from from the I think it was in Radio City. And so just to give you an idea, the bands that performed that year: REM, Live, Hole, White Zombie, Michael Jackson, I think, did something, and Dennis Miller hosted.
Oh my God.
Cha-cha.
Hey, Cha-cha, what am I, fucking...
What am I, Glico?
What am I, Kabuka over here?
I got a kabuki mask over here.
Pretty doobity-doo.
Sarah, you were too young, but this was all things that happened to people.
Right. I wish I was too young.
Let me see. We're going to talk about Uber Eats because quickly I'll tell you that the most popular takeout orders during the quarantine are French fries. Who's ordering just fries? And then that's really, when the driver gets in, he's got just fries. He's like, this motherfucker. And then giving the fries a ride around.
I asked for 3 ketchups. These are only 2. You go back.
Yeah, all right. Chuck the gas tank full of ketchup spilling out. Pad Thai. Third is crab rangoon. You guys order the same amount you used to, more or less?
We're not ordering food in my house. We're making food.
Okay.
We get groceries delivered, and then we're making food. But I understand the idea of like just cram as much comfort food in as possible. The fries thing makes sense. You stay full longer. But also meals in quarantine don't mean the same. Like I'll just eat, like let me tell you something. Frosted Flakes is the finest dinner cereal you can possibly. I've just started like coming up with alternate ways of like pretending it's like, oh, here's some caramelized corn shavings served over chilled cream. Like it's just a bowl of Frosted Flakes for dinner. There are no rules anymore. Like we can eat whatever the fuck we want, whenever we want, because we just need to get through this as comfortably as possible.
That's right. Sarah, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm eating a lot out of bags and boxes, but I feel like a lot of people, it said we're ordering Indian food, and I was like, I think that is because when you're that close to your own toilet, you can order that kind of stuff.
It's less risky. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no risk involved. Like you're not going to order that stuff to the office, but to your house, you're
chicken tikka marsala. Then you go, excuse me, there's my bathroom.
I just know that I'm eating so much throughout. It's basically like being at a craft service table, but all day long, because you're just constantly eating to kill time.
You're always near the kitchen. Yeah, you're never at work.
Always near the kitchen, and it's. I think I'm gonna gain what I'm gonna call the quarantine, which is just like after 3 months, and I'm like, how did I gain? Oh, that's right, because I was in my home just eating all day long. I wasn't out being active.
I feel like I'm drinking more than normal too. Am I the only one?
Yes. Oh, well, fuck. You had a baby. I'm sure you had a full bar ready. You were just like, I guess it's good now, right?
Well, What is that? Just the whiskey? Make sure the temperature on that is okay. Yeah, that's good.
Trying
That's
not
good.
to mix up the two bottles.
You put the salt on his head. Age.
Yeah, you dip the pacifier in lemon, like a lime. We're all sucking the lime.
And then he goes, wrong one.
Whatever helps him sleep, you guys.
I'm sure my mom's not a big drinker. I'm sure she drank. I mean, our kids 1,000% better now. Like, we fixed that. All the kids are perfectly behaved and geniuses. Like, I have a few drinks on the. My dad was like a big drinker. My mom wasn't, but the only time I think she drank was when when she was pregnant with me. And then she kicked it.
Well,
And
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Oh, your mom smoked while she was pregnant with you?
Fuck yeah, that's why I'm a fucking shrimp cocktail. I've told her, like, speaking of shrimp cocktail, bing bong. Oh, I just ordered some. I like when people order stuff like that. That's like a hassle, like shrimp cocktail, but the cocktail sauce, got to put it in ice. It's like, I don't do anything. I barely get dressed. I've learned that, like, why am I putting this on? Why am I trying to look nice? Why am I doing anything? That you realize how in your everyday life, what matters. Like, oh, I might go to a restaurant. Oh, I might see people at work. But when you're not, it gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like the idea that I had a reason to shower today because I was doing this was glorious. Like it felt, I was so excited, like, oh, there's some structure. Like I can put on a sweater and take a shower. I have a reason.
Yeah.
I felt like the purpose from doing this show will feed my soul for the next couple of days.
It is nice. Sarah, you've been quarantined basically because
Yeah.
you had your baby and then you went into this.
Yeah. It just feels like Groundhog Day, but
With less jokes.
I feel I feel less creative. I don't know. Like I don't even feel that creative. I thought I would have all this time to like write cool stuff and come up with good ideas, and it's just like no, it's just like Tiger King and wine.
It is true that the shit I was supposed to do, like I'm going to do this in my closet, is if I'm not doing it now, if I'm not watching this movie now, it's never happening. I mean, this is, you're begging for things to do. And if you don't do it now, you're like, who am I kidding?
It made me feel better when Sandler said that he wasn't doing anything. And I was like, all right, if he's not, then I'm okay.
Nobody is, because it's like every creative person I know is having the same dilemma where they're like, I should be writing the next great comedy thing right now with all this time. And it's like, yeah, but every day is so uncertain that all of our creative energy is being sapped. And then, of course, you also are keeping a tiny human alive. And so it's like the creative energy that would normally be freed up by having the structure of our lives is sort of like we're kind of fighting off anxiety and what to do and being, like caged in all day. So the uncertainty of that, I'm just telling people, like, don't feel bad if you don't write the great American novel under quarantine. Just get through each day and be okay. Focus on your mental health.
Yeah.
I feel like trying to flatten the curve takes up most of my day anyway. It's taking all my energy. Okay, so by the way, I was going to say, I've never had a craving for crab rangoon. But
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what crab rangoon is.
It's not at the top of my 100 things I would order, I'll tell you that.
What's really fun to order is one of those raw fish towers. Those are really fun to see. The Uber Eats have to come and put that together.
Shit, sorry, that's Jeff Frost.
Yeah, you really want raw fish being delivered with like 1 and 2 hour delivery times. It'll probably be fine. It'll be fine by the time it gets here.
Yeah, right?
Hello, Jeff? That was Jeff Frost called, and I hung up on you and not him.
Oh, thanks.
Place is
Hey,
an
buddy,
absolute shit show. But we were Sarah was blabbering on about something. But we're moving on to what feels like a local news story. The end of a car chase, the cops found a dog was driving behind the wheel, and his owner claimed he was teaching him how to drive and steering for him. Mm-hmm. And in a crazy turn of events, the owner was high on drugs. I don't know what one. I'm guessing the letters PCP might be involved.
Or just all of them.
Yeah, all the above. What drug? Put the line down all the boxes.
Yeah. I don't know what you got. I'm letting a dog drive. I mean, I do think that in his state, there was like a molecule of responsibility where he's like, I'm too fucked up, you drive. And then just gave the dog. So that I think he was at least trying.
Yeah, you've seen me do this a million times. You can do it, dog.
Come on.
Yeah, it was like a female pit bull. And
Oh,
as
wow.
someone who's often been described as a bitch behind a wheel, I would just like to say that I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Well, pit bulls have the undeserved reputation of being aggressive drivers, and it's just a bad stereotype.
Drivers, yeah.
They're very sweet.
They said it drives at a 15-year-old level. By the way, when I was 15, I didn't want to drive. I was scared to. It's very scary. Like, people forget, like, everyone's wanting to drive, and then you've got this 2 tons of machinery, and you hit it, and then you go to defensive driving, and they show you, like, every crash, wheels of tragedy, mechanized death, red asphalt, the last prom.
Oh my God, I remember watching Red Asphalt.
They just show you people wiped out and bloodied and dead. And I'm like, and they're like, now get out there and have some fun. Even the dog's like,
Cut loose.
yeah, it was really sickening. The dog was chasing cars, and then he was like, oh, this is the way to do it. Hey, fucker.
Yeah, they just followed the trail of like run over cats. There was just like a trail of just flattened cats. Like,
he's on a rampage. He's Grand Theft Auto with cats.
My dog would be like, finally a way to get that fucking squirrel out of the tree.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh, you didn't see a squirrel? Yes, I did. He does like a Fast and Furious maneuver.
An 8-point turn to get the squirrel.
Stories like this, you said this is a local news story, and I always imagine like the local news covering this and just like all the like hacky jokes for like, and this reporter thinks that was a bit of a rough road. We'll back it over to sports, and then Stormy's got the weather. You know, like it just
this reporter thinks you're a little bit of a bitch. Everyone stops, and he goes, "Oh, I was tying in."
I was just play on words.
Cage's favorite rapper, Megan Thee Stallion, has admitted in an interview with Marie Claire that she treats men like they are disposable. I'm only bringing this up because I know women don't get a lot to say out there, and sometimes they feel like, whatever. I mean, I read everything. I know everything about women. I'm a guy. But I do feel like it's one of the few things that you can get away with saying if you're a woman, and you definitely cannot if you're a guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like especially right now, probably is the best time to say that.
If you read that and said, David Spade says he admitted women are disposable, like, wait, what? Like, that's like, and she just gets everyone going, cool, let's do a TikTok video to that. Beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, boop.
But what I love about her is I was reading the story, and it said that she's studying online to get a degree in healthcare administration because she wants to open an assisted living care facility for the elderly, which I think is amazing.
Nice,
but I'm wondering if, like, with the elderly residents, she's like, you're here because I want you to be here, Mr. Nussbaum. Like, are they?
Oh yeah.
I want Meghan Markle to go by Megan the Markle. I think that's cool.
Well, they're in Los Angeles now. They're in Los Angeles now, right?
Oh, Megan the Markle is?
Yeah, Megan the Markle is in I think they relocated to Los Angeles.
I keep looking for them at Ralph's.
They go to King Ralph's, Dave.
I go to any Ralph's with a helicopter on the roof. They repellent.
The helipad on top of the Vons is like, oh, that's where they're.
Megan Thee Stallion. Of course, I've heard of her, but I don't know any songs. I'm sure Courtney and Coco will be doing a TikTok to that later. Yeah. And of course, I'm over here looking like an asshole because I don't know anything. Oh shit.
Dave, before we wrap things up, can I put on my favorite movie prop that I bought in a movie auction?
Oh, for real? Real prop?
Yeah, real prop.
I love this. I've seen
it's part of comedy history. I bought the Dark helmet from Spaceballs.
Oh, wow.
That's the real one?
Yeah. And I really can't breathe in this thing.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's a fake speaker, though. All right, well, we'll go out on that, you guys. Thank you for being here. And as I find a way to hang up on you with my scroller, thanks, guys. And we'll see you next time.